We are back. Yes, this is it. Brand new season. Yeah, we in here. My name is Kirk Hill Jr.
I'm Philip Rios.
And we are Phil and Hill. Woo! Yo, we made it to another season.
Man,
how's it feel?
It feels surreal because last year kind of felt like a fever dream. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot going on last year, and we launched despite everything that was happening. We crushed it. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, like the episodes were like up and down, but it kind of worked. Like if you look at it, like the one thing I was telling you before is that the thing I like about our podcast is that like we're not always gonna be high energy.
Yeah.
And it's so inauthentic for us to be high energy.
Right.
Because there are gonna be days where I'm not feeling it. There's gonna be days where you're not feeling it.
Right.
And it is what it is. We still gotta shoot it. You know what I mean? Now, of course, if it's really, really bad, we don't shoot.
Yeah, if it's detrimental to the whole thing, then obviously we'll push that off. But it's also like a way to show the realer side of us.
Yeah, we're human. You know, everybody's human. You don't have to be on all the time, and I get it. You know, a lot of people are like, you know, if you don't show high energy, how are people gonna be excited? No, that's how you get robots to tune in. You need people. That's how you connect faster, is by being human beings and being people and being vulnerable in times where you don't feel like there's a light.
I think that's the beauty of a podcast, honestly.
Yeah. Sometimes the imperfections shine brighter than anything that you could have thought of being.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I think last year went okay. It wasn't bad. But this year, we are going to be a little bit more upbeat. We're going to try and do our best. I know last year, the tail end of it was it's a bit of a rocky end for me. You know, there's a lot of things on my journey to 30. That's like what, 5 days away now, 6 days away.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
They don't feel like it. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think I would make it to 30.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I made it here, I gotta celebrate that in a certain way, and celebrate it with the people that matter, which is why I was like, you know, you're invited whichever way I decide.
Thank you.
I
appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
But you know, come forward this year, I think I went through that, and low key, somebody told me, I think it was my wife, and she was like, you went through the stages of grief and you didn't realize it. For years you were going through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really? And she was like, well, think about it. You've been in denial this whole time, right? Since things have happened to you. You know, you've forgotten it, whatever. And then you've tried to bargain, you know, you've tried to, well, what if, you know, and it's just like, I didn't realize I was doing that, you know, and I forget what's the other ones. It's one more and then the other two.
There's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance.
Yeah, see, I did all of that. But the last three came last year.
Yeah.
Which was anger, depression, and then acceptance came in the beginning of this year. Mm-hmm. That sadness chapter was really bad, I'm not gonna lie. Like I sat there and I was in it. Mm-hmm. And then when I got angry, I was like, yeah, I don't wanna be in it anymore. I wanna just, I wanna do stuff. But this year I was like, you know what? I'll be okay. I have to make it okay.
Yeah.
You know, I have to make sure it's okay with me. But in lighter news, I'm excited to try the new things that we have in store for this season. I'm excited to come in and shoot with you, and you know, as we figure out our, you know, temporary home for the pod.
Yeah, we're searching for our podcast home. Obviously, the locale has changed yet again. This is this is not going to be like the official one, but this is this is kind of cool. I kind of like how
it could be.
I kind of like how it looks, And
if we figure out the logistics,
we did a photo shoot today, so we testing out new photos for us. Brand new logo coming soon.
It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, we're gonna cut a new trailer for the podcast so that people can come through and check us out. Like it's gonna be kind of lit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited for the next chapter. I'm excited that we've come back, and this means a lot to me. And honestly, I've been thinking about what what's it called? Like what the mission and vision of this podcast is. Like what is our mantra? What is our theme? What is our stance? And when I think about it, because we used to talk about how we were, both of us being dads, and that's cool, but that's not like all of who we are.
Yeah.
And then we was like, this is the safe space for hot takes. But then the more that we went on about it, I was like, we don't really do the hot takes either, because a lot of the podcasts that we see on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, clips, a lot of it is very relationship heavy, like men do this, women do that, and like toxic shit. And like that's not really us either, because we're in relationships, we have children, like it's just a different kind of life for us. It's fun to watch, but it's like that's not really.
I don't want that to be us.
Yeah, like that's not really our vibe.
It's so easy to grab at that, like to get clips, to get clicks. Like it's so easy. Like if me and him wanted to get clicks, we could just jump on any of the numerous topics that someone else is about to jump on right now.
Exactly.
Anybody as a celebrity, like we could do any of that. It just doesn't feel real. It feels forced.
Right.
And I don't want that. I never wanted that, which is why me and him both agreed we're never gonna touch stuff like that. Like if it comes up, it comes up.
Right. Like, if we have a guest on and like, for the fun, for the shits and giggles, sure. But like that's not what defines Phil and Hill. Phil and Hill is the safe space, a cool space for all takes, hot, cold, like we can just talk about things that everybody knows. Like we love Batman. That's not a hot take. Like Batman's cool as hell. Mm-hmm. Saying the Suicide Squad sucks. That's not a hot take. Like people know that. Like it's a bad movie. So Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad is a good movie. I had to correct myself.
You got people who like that movie too.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just.
And it's welcome. And this place is welcome for everybody. People who like bad movies. People who hate good movies. Like this is the place to just talk about it. And we don't always have to talk about movies. We can talk about TV shows. We can talk about music. We can talk about gaming. I want you to have your gaming space, And
I have a hot take that I've been holding on for today, but COVID was 3 years. For 3 years, the disrespect, right, that gamers get, and they don't get the respect they deserve. Because for 3 years, gamers held down the world in streaming, putting clips. People were watching video gamers all over the world for 3
I didn't even think about that.
years.
Yeah.
While everybody was at home.
Yeah. Twitch was the vibe.
I sat there and I was like, no, they got to put some respect on gamers.
Yeah.
They held it down for 3 years while we were all locked in, or we had to go to work and we had to watch people. Who were we watching?
Yeah.
We were watching streamers. So I was just like, damn, man.
We could get into that too. That's dope. But we want to get back into our vibe and everything. We're just excited. Like this is cool. New studio, new look and everything. These photos we took were fire. Like,
I just told him right now. I think I just found out I'm sexy. That's crazy. I looked at the photos. I was like, I never see myself like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm sexy.
Good for you.
Mm.
Good for you. I ain't gonna lie. These photos show me I got more work to do. I ain't gonna lie. I'm motivated. I'm glad it had that effect on you. But, I I looked at my photos and was like, you can do better, girl. You can do better. It's time to get on it. Which leads me to my pass or play, right? So people do their New Year, new me shit. This is New Year, new us, new season, right? So, what is the wildest New Year's resolution you ever had, pass or play?
You know, damn. It's gonna seem like a cop-out answer, but I've never really done that.
You've never done a New Year's resolution? Oh, you just voided the pass or play, the first ever. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I've never partaked.
Well, let's just get into it.
Never partook in that. I just try to be a better person than I was than the year before. But I've never been like, well, New Year, now I'm gonna do something different. It's like, no, let me try to be at least better than I was last year. That's pretty much it. Like,
I mean, yeah.
And I get it. I get the whole thing around it, but it's like realistically, you're gonna try for 1 month and then give up. That's what people do.
Yeah.
The gyms know it. The gym, you get the membership for the gym membership, and then you only use it for a month.
Yo, Chris tells me all the time. He's like, yo, I hate going to the gym in January because all these people are attacking the gym.
Yeah.
And none of them are gonna be here in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it really gets me tired. I hate going to the gym in January.
It's the
That's
New
what he
Year's
tells me.
resurgence.
Yeah.
And it's gaga.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't. I know
Clearly, I wasn't one of those people that got in the gym.
If you stick
It's
with
not
it,
where I'm at right now.
if you stick with it, good for you. But if you don't, then your New Year's resolution of you getting fit or being fit or whatever just went out the window. And before you get on that horse again, which will probably be 6 months after you see, some shit that looks amazing and you're like, ooh, I should get in shape, when you should have been continuing your journey from January. No shade, but it happens.
Yeah.
People put this, you put this pressure on yourself, and it's only you.
Yeah.
I put this imaginary clock on myself. It's only my clock. Only I can see this clock, but for some reason I feel like my clock is ticking. I don't know why, but I always put it on myself. It has nothing to do with anybody else or the new year or anything like that. I just do it. It just happens. And for some reason, I just feel like I'm running out of time. That I would like to stop. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
If it happens organically, it happens organically. If it doesn't, oh well.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I just want to be better than I was last year. Last year was a bit of a roller coaster for me. This year I want to be able to stick my feet into the ground and just be firm. I just want to be firm and be good. Instead of going through roller coasters.
Well, there's your resolution right there.
If I want, yeah.
Be firm. For me, I don't really. Resolution is kind of my one thing that, resolution always seems like a one thing. And where me, I always have multiple goals. I have things that I want to get done this year. So my current challenge, I'm turning 30 this year also. My current challenge is 30 for 30. Don't ask me why.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. I'm kind of insane for that, but
it makes sense though.
I think creatively, right? So my dad loves ESPN. My dad used to always watch these 30 for 30 documentaries, the sports documentaries. So then I was like, 30 for 30, that sounds mad, fire, right? So all these years, the last couple of years, I've been doing these goals. I want to do this by 26, this by 27, or whatever. But I was like, yo, this year, since I'm going to turn 30, I should go 30 for 30. So let's come up with 30 goals, And I ain't gonna lie, it was hard. Because some stuff, the first 10 or 15 are just leftover goals that I didn't do before, which, like I said, I gotta catch up. I got more things to do. But then I got up to maybe 22, 23, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna finish this list? What am I gonna do? And I couldn't think of nothing. I was like, oh, what do I want to do? But then I was like, all right, you know what? Let me challenge myself. So let me go to people in my life close to me. And I was like I asked you, I was like, yo, give me a goal. I asked Brandon, give me a goal. I asked my girl, I was like, give me a goal. And everybody gave me these individual goals. I asked my mother even, and my mom gave me a good one, a goal that I've actually achieved. I have a mentor in my life now, which is cool because, like, you know, I'm in a very important stage in my life. You know, being a father and holding things down at the house, and you know, working and trying to find my path for myself. Even with this podcast, I'm trying to create a new future, you know, and I need help with stuff like that. I need guidance, and my mentor is already in the short span. I mean, I've already known him in my life for a while. Shout out to Elder Dickens, but like, yeah, you know, in the short few sessions that we've had, maybe like 3-4 conversations, he's already like caused me to think about things in a whole new light. Like perspective is key, and the way you move, like the intention. One of the what I was telling you about, he put me on like your intention. What do you want to do? Like if you really want it enough, you're gonna find a way to get it done. So like, you know, and that's why this thing is cool. Like this 30 for 30 is the ultimate like judgment of
getting it done.
Intention. Yeah, like you know, this is it. This is gonna show whether I got what it takes or not. And I'm loving it so far. Like you know, and it's tough because I don't want to lose momentum. And I think that's what's gotten me in the past. Like I get a good start, and then the momentum dies down, and then I just kind of like
you lose it.
Yeah, but this year,
I get it.
This year is different because I have other people keeping me accountable, and the fact that I have goals that other people gave me. I don't want to let y'all down. Like I'm be like, you know, they told me like to do this year, so let me try to do it. And that in and of itself is cool. The biggest thing right now, and I'm really trying not to use it as a crutch, but the biggest thing right now is honestly just my anxiety. Like it's tough. It's tough getting out of my own head, you know. And then when you get stuck in like analysis paralysis is a real thing.
Yeah.
And like just the planning of all of it makes it so much like tougher. Because it's like you just get stuck in like, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, and then you go down the rabbit hole. And while you're working on one goal, you're like, whoa, but that could be really cool too. So let me start working on that. And then you go, wait, but that right there, that could be something crazy too. And then you just you're just spreading yourself too thin. Yeah. And that's like, you know, I'm worried about that because it is 30 goals, but I've paced myself. I've given myself like a plan of like, for these months, this is what I'm going to work on. And, yeah. You know, and whenever there's opportunity to work on a goal, take that opportunity. Yeah. You know, even if it's not the opportunity, even if it's not the goal that I was planning on working on, if the opportunity presents itself,
execute it.
Yeah. Execution is the goal. Execute was like my plan, my overall mantra for last year. But now this year, I want to keep that execution, but I also want to get to a place of celebration. You know, yeah. I think last year you and I talked a lot about it. Like we spent a lot of time reflecting. Yeah. A lot of time looking back at like what brought us here. You know, what drives us, what makes us who we are. Like what, you know, and this year I kind of want to spend less time looking back and just be like, all right, now that you know what you need, just go do it. Yeah. And then after you do it, that feeling of like, yo, I really did that. Like that's the goal. Like to get to a place where I can really just sit back and be like, yo, we did that shit. Like I did that shit. Like, you know, I want to feel that way about myself, and I haven't felt that way about my life in a while. So I just want to get to that place and just, you know, as a man, just be like, no, I had responsibilities, I took care of it. I had goals that I set for myself, and I got them done. And then it allows me to just start the next year brand new, sky's the limit. Like, sure. Because now it's like all those things you've wanted to do for the last 10 years of your life, you did it finally. So now, what's next? And that's gonna be the new exciting feeling, and that's what I'm searching for, you know?
No, I get it. You know, you hear tunnel vision a lot, and that's exactly what that moment is when you just focus on that thing that's like, no, I'm getting this done no matter what. Like,
Yeah.
and you may have like 6 goals, but they all center around that one end game goal.
Yeah.
So it's straight tunnel vision. So like for me and you, I know the podcast is a tunnel vision thing. We just gotta lock in.
Yeah.
This is a great start to the lock in. Like last year, great start to the pod.
Yeah.
Now this year, we're gonna be in our 2nd year. We're gonna start moving accordingly.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've already got a plan. We already got schedules. We already know, you know, and if things happen, we both know how to pivot. So we just, you know, we get together and we figure it out. If things don't, whatever. But at the end of the day, we're gonna execute it no matter what. But I'm excited because this is, like I said, this is a great start. You know, we came today, and this wasn't planned. This pod wasn't planned. Not today.
Yeah, we
This
just
was
because this wasn't supposed to happen today.
This was
But we had to work what we got.
yeah, we gotta do what we gotta do, and we're gonna make it work. And that's what you can look forward to when you tune in from us. Things may not be on this day that but you're gonna get it, and you might even get it earlier. Who knows?
Right.
But you're gonna get it. Period. And this was cool. I'm not even gonna lie. This is a cool setup. Like we came, we did our photo shoot, and then sat our asses down and was like, let's go shoot the pod.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately onto business. Like the whole thing is business, but the fact that our minds were just in great rotation, that's it.
So, in that pivot, wasn't going to talk about this, right? Because we wasn't supposed to shoot on this day, but today is MLK Day. Went to church yesterday. I went to church yesterday with my kids, right? And you know, we was listening to the preacher, the guest preacher from North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. And he just spoke on his legacy, Martin Luther King, and it was cool because he brought it up like, yo, how are we supposed? He didn't say yo, obviously, but like he was like, yo, I know. Now, but he was like, how can we celebrate Dr. King if we haven't really kept it going? We've dropped the ball with a lot of things that King had dreamt of, that King had planned to do with his life. You know, things that he saw for our country, for our people. You know, we're not there yet. You know, so basically what I was saying, like with the goals. Like you look back and it's like the last 10 years of your life. Like, yo, you said you had a goal. What happened? You didn't do it. And it's a similar thing. It's like King had a dream. King had a vision. And for a while, the people were like, yeah, we're doing that. And we're coming together. We're getting things done. And then there's this stretch of time where you've kind of like fallen off. Because like, and my dad used to tell me about that. Because I used to tell my dad how I wanted to change the world. And I thought that I had a higher purpose. And the only reason I thought that was because of my mom. Because I used to tell my mom, I was like, oh, Mom, how come when I do these things, when I tell you about music or when I tell you about acting, you don't seem as excited? And she's like, because it's not that I'm not excited. I know you're good at those things, and I know that you're gonna find a way to do the things that you love. I just have this feeling that God has a higher purpose for you. You're meant to do more than just sing. You're meant to do more than just act. Like there's something bigger for you, and I want you to try to think of what that is. And ever since then, I always was looking for it, like, what am I really supposed to do? And when I told Dad that I had this vision for like a movement that I wanted to start to kind of like, in essence, get the world together, bring us together, he used to be like, yo, I don't want you being a martyr. Like, I don't want that for you. I just want you to live your life. We've been through enough. Like, you know, I've seen so much. I've lived through a lot. Like, you know, he was a kid when King was killed. He was 8 years old, you know, and like civil rights movement and all these leaders in our community that were assassinated. He's seen all that and felt the pain of all that. And he was just like, if you start saying these things and doing these things, they're gonna make you a target and they're gonna come after you, and I don't want that for you. And I was like, but Dad, if that's what I'm called to do, like, you know, what am I supposed to do? Now, as time has gone on, yes, in my life got harder. I grew up, I had more responsibilities. So now that drive to like save everybody else, I'm like, yo, I'm still figuring my own life out. Like, I don't even know if I'm ready.
Trying to save me.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I'm ready to be that person. But then when I listened to that sermon yesterday, and he was just like, yo, it's time to shake the table. It's time to shake things up. And like, the work's not finished yet, you know? And the best way to honor him is not to celebrate him, but to like reinvigorate, reignite his goal, you know? And I just struck a chord with me, man. I was really like, I was sitting there like, man, you know, and I think a lot about what is my purpose, you know? How, you know, just that, do you ever wonder about those things? I know, like, you know, like I said, like, we get so drowned in our own individual things, but like, is there, you ever wonder, like, what am I really like, here for? Like, what is?
Of course, I always wanted to save people. Like, I always wanted to help people.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I always can remember. I always, there's three things. I always wanted to be a dad. I always wanted to help people, and I always wanted to remain myself. And I've got the two things.
Yeah.
And now it's the helping people thing. And maybe it's my savior complex. I've always had that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because, you know, I've never been saved, so I want to save.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always felt like there was something bigger than me. Like I can do more. I'm meant for more, but I don't know. I never reached for it. Only because like you always have those people that like, okay, I'm a dreamer, and then you have people who step on dreamers, who are like, that's not realistic, and then that causes you to, well, maybe not, you know, and it kind of messes you up because like you may think, yeah, no, I want to go and do this, and then that person will be like, you can't do that though.
Yeah.
Like, that's not realistic for you. It's like, well, how do you know? You know? But the problem is that they already get in your head. So I digress. But I have that problem too, where I feel like I'm meant for more, but I also have this self-doubt situation where it's like, I feel like I know where I should go, but in order to take that step, I don't know what it would cost me.
Yeah.
And that's the fear that I have. Because it's like, I don't want to put anything that I have in jeopardy. But everybody that I know and looked up to, like they're not here anymore. They stood up for something that was bigger than them, and they sacrificed things that they probably weren't willing to sacrifice.
Yeah. And that's the scary part. Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot of people that I looked up to that they didn't sign up for their families to be harassed or killed or kidnapped or maimed, and because they went their way and they decided to go for higher than themselves, that's what came with it.
Yeah.
You know, so like we're doing this podcast, and we're not signing up for fame.
Yeah.
But if it comes, what are we gonna do?
Right.
Are we gonna be like, nah?
And I've always thought about it with this podcast. And, you know, and I've reiterated this in a ton of different episodes, but that really is part of what I think the purpose is. You know, somehow, some way, I always find my way back to this. Every season, I think this is the last season of the show. Like, I don't really know what else to say. I don't have anything else to say. But then life keeps happening, so you're gonna have more to talk about. And this podcast is my place to talk about certain things. And then now having you on, and when I started having guests on with me and opening that dialogue, it allowed it to be a different place. Like, it wasn't just for me anymore. It was like you were able to let out a lot of things. You know, my cousin was able to talk about his music and stuff in one episode. My friend was able to bring up like stuff in his childhood. Winter was able to talk about their struggles with mental health. Like, you know, it's the community that we're trying to build. And if that is the best way that I can save the world in this stage of my life, then so be it. And it's hard because, you know, you want to help people, but then, you know, at the end of the day, like, we're still human, we're still flawed. And we live in a society where it's tough to be flawed because everyone highlights your flaws, everyone
crucify
you know, and it's tough. And then anything good that you want to do, people are ready to undermine it with everything that you've ever done wrong. And it's like, yo, but like,
I'm trying.
I wanna fix that. I wanna be better. And I think that's the part that's missing. There's nothing wrong with holding people accountable. I applaud that effort. I applaud the search for truth, the search for, like, again, this is what you've done and this is how it's affected people around you. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to allow allow the space for grace.
Yeah.
You have to allow the space for redemption. You have to allow that space for rehabilitation. Like, it doesn't end at your lowest point, you know.
That's where the story begins,
give them,
anything.
Right, now give them time to rise back up. You know?
How many, you know, there's a lot of people in this world that their story just begins at their lowest point. Why? Because that's when you need to pay attention the most.
Right.
Look at them. Look at what happens. Look at how far they go.
Yeah.
Look at how hungrier they get. Look at how they showed everybody who already was like, forget them. Oh, really? Okay, watch me. You know, and it's like, it's one of my most favorite people in this world, and I've mentioned him here, is Chris Brown.
Yeah.
I have a deep appreciation for that man. And the fact that at his lowest, still to this day, people bring up what happened between him and her. And he was a kid.
Yeah.
He was a kid. Like, you gotta let that shit go, bro. Like, if people did that to you, are you kidding me? First off, if we want to go off bad things that people have done, we can go as far as back as like middle school, because we've all done dumb shit in middle school.
Yeah.
If you really want to go there, then that you would cut the knees at like 9 years old or 10 years old.
Right.
Now you gotta watch us grow into whatever person.
And what we've done, yeah, it was wrong, it was stupid, it was silly, whatever you want to call it. But like, you know, if time has gone on and we've grown up and we've done things, and when you put in the work to grow and to become better, I think you deserve to be recognized for that. I think you deserve to be, you know, you can be forgiving. Yeah, you don't forget everything, and yeah, like, you know, there's boundaries that need to be set. That's all fair. That's all good. Yeah. But at the same time, like,
if that person
don't condemn me, like, you know.
If that person has shown growth and has done everything and moved, whatever the case may be, and you could see it clearly, and they've moved on with their lives, get on about it. Like, leave it alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody likes a person to shine. Oh, but you remember this time? Nobody likes a person like that. Don't do that.
Right.
Like, that's not good. That's not a good thing to have.
And again, even with like the leaders, like, Malcolm X had a past. Martin was flawed. Like, it doesn't take away from all the great that they did. It doesn't take away from their journey. The flaws are just one chapter of the journey. It may take up a few chapters, but like the overall journey, there's more than to be done. And more often than not, you want to let your good moments outweigh your bad moments. So that's just something that I want to be aware of. And with this year in my life, again, you about to be 30 in a few days, me turning 30. I want to hold myself to a higher standard now. I'm entering a different phase of my life, trying to look at life a little bit differently, trying to let go of things that no longer serve me. And it's hard. Because the flaws are, some flaws are comfortable. It's safe. It's like I can just check back on this. Like I want to be flawed. I want to be a little toxic. Like everybody like kind of it's a comfortable space. You can laugh about it, but when it's time to put that away, you gotta put it away. And it's okay to be like, that's not where I'm at no more. I don't want to do those things no more. I don't want to say those things no more.
I'm completely, as I look on to 30, like 5 days away, 6 days away, I'm not the same person I was at all. 10 years ago, I had no ambition. I had nothing. I didn't want to do anything with my life. I was lost. Like, I had nobody. So it was just like, to look at me now, like I have ambition, I have people, I have a village that I've created for myself, people I care for, who care for me, who call me to check on me. That feels good. Yeah. And like I don't know how to reciprocate it because like, spending my whole life being alone, it's a juxtaposition. Like I gotta figure it out. But it feels good to know that there are people like you who call me, text me like, yo, dude, you okay? Like, I've never had that. And I was telling you that, like, no, for real, I never had that. Like, so the fact that you give a damn, and you call me, you say, hey, and if you can't reach me, you call my wife, hey, is he okay? Is he good? Yeah. That's somebody who really gives a fuck about me, who cares about me. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? And looking into the future, I want to keep that, and I want to be able to keep cultivating this village that I've made for my life. Yeah. Like I'm surrounded by good people, loving people, accepting people who won't judge me if I fall off. Yeah. Who won't cast me out if I take a misstep or not. If I have a bad stint or not. So yeah, man. This means a lot to me. You mean a lot to me. You know that.
Same here.
You guys who watch us, it means a lot. Keep supporting us, man. We need this support. We want to keep doing this. We want to do this more often.
Definitely. And we want to grow this. Like we want to open up to people out there. If you ever feel anybody in our lives that's like, yo, I wanna come through and talk about some stuff. I wanna chill. It don't gotta be like Cat Williams level, but like, if you just wanna chill, you wanna talk about some stuff, like this is our place.
Come on through.
Same, and again, to bring it back, like at church, at my church, they always, after the sermon is over, we always do the thing where the preacher's like, the doors of the church are open. If you want a church home, if you want a church family, come on up and be a part of us. And I want to do that here. Like I want to extend this. Like this is the place for all takes. Everything is safe. This is for you.
Judgment free zone.
Yeah, you know, just be who you are. And if you've never had a place where I can just be who I am, or who
come through.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. Couple things before we wrap up. How do you plan on spending your birthday?
I still haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I know a dinner is there. That's never gonna not be there.
Right.
But I think I want to take the day. So I'm supposed to work that day, but I think I'm gonna take that off. I usually take the day off because it's my birthday.
You should.
I don't care what anybody says.
And your birthday's on a Saturday. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You should definitely.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that off.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You know what's funny is that my idea of fun is like a kid, like Sky Zone. Sky Zone sounds fun to me.
Yeah, you know.
I've never been there, so I might want to go. Atlantic City sounds fun because I went there.
It's not bad.
Well, this is the thing. I went there.
Depends on what you into.
I've never went there of age. So I couldn't like gamble. I couldn't. Yeah, I want to go and do that stuff. Like
obviously, disclaimer. You know,
yeah, no, we know.
Be safe.
Be safe on gambling. But like,
it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
I kind of want to like do stuff like that.
I kind of want to go back and gamble. A little
That's
bit.
what I'm saying. Like I kind of want to make a thing of it. Like yo, let's just go and have fun. Like you know, no judgment, no nothing. Let's just go drink. Gamble, whatever, have fun, and come back and just go. Damn, that was a good day. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, worry about nothing else in this, in what's going on, real quickly. Just be in this like little bubble for that day.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? Like that's really what I want to do for that one day. I think I might just make it happen. I'm gonna let you know.
All right. And now we introduce our new segment, inspired by one of my favorite people, Will Smith. In King Richards, he has a scene where he's like, "You want to talk about the kids? Let's talk about the kids." And I realized, yo, we dads, and we don't really like talk about our kids on this podcast that much. So
we said we would.
We said we would. So like, this is our new segment before we end everything. Let's talk about the kids. What's going on? You want to start or I start?
You start.
Well, all right. So yesterday we went to church. Yesterday was my son's birthday.
Okay.
And he's now 7. And it's crazy. We had a good time. We went to Bay Plaza, ate at the K-Pot spot. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My bro Charlie put me on to the K-Pot life. It's kind of cool. You get your little, you get your broth and you get things, your things that you want to put in. You cook it, boils, and it cooks like in 30 seconds. Like, yo, shit's fire. I ain't gonna lie. So we had fun. Michael loved it. My nephew's birthday was on the 12th. It was my godson. So that means a lot to me too. So it was cool. It was cool. And then he had my son. He had a birthday party on the week before, and we was at Dave & Buster's, and that was a good time. My cousins came through. Some of his friends from school came through, and I love that I get an excuse to do things that I already want to do. Like, it's like, all right, cool. You want to go to Dave & Buster's? I want to go to Dave & Buster's. Like, let's do that.
You want to play games?
We're playing games. Yeah. So we was in there. We was playing basketball. We was playing air hockey. We was playing. What was it? We was playing Tomb Raider, Terminator, all the gun games. So we was having so much fun. And then the food was cool. The cake was nice. Everything worked out. It was a pretty good birthday. And as far as school and stuff, he's still working on things, still working on his behavior and all that. But we're good. Funny enough, I remember we was talking. I told you we want to do an episode one day with our kids, my son, your daughter. That'd be really cool. I told him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I want to do it." And I was like, "Hey, whoa!" But you gotta understand, I'm very serious about my podcast. So I told him, I was like, yo, you and me, we're gonna need to do some practice runs before you go on this podcast. So it's funny, right? So for Christmas, Lenore, she bought Michael and Denise these two karaoke mics. So we play music and then they like sing. They was having a ball too. So I was like, when we practice, let's use the mics and let's just talk real quick. We chill on the couch for like 20 minutes and we just come up with stuff, get you comfortable with it. And I was like, but when when the time comes, I'll let you know when you're ready. And he was like, yeah, I want to do it. So that's cool. But I'm proud. I'm proud of my boy. I'm proud of him for just he's still discovering himself, and he's trying to figure out his own safe spaces. And he's so proud of like everything I do. Like I played basketball last week, and he was like, Dad, I want to come on to your games. And then he wants to be on the podcast. He wants to hear my music. Like he's just so like he looks up to me so much, and I just want to honor that as best as I can. And I just want to help him and push him in that right direction. And then he's very close with my dad too. So when my dad got sick, it like really bothered him. And I had to think back, and I was like, yo, in my life, I didn't really know sickness or death like that until I was like maybe 8, 9. And in Michael's life, he's already like lost people. Yeah. He was like 3, 4 years old, losing like elders in the community, losing uncles and cousins and aunts, and like just people passed away that 3 years, three of those years. And then for him to like be as close as he was with my dad, and then to have that relationship change, and that's one of the hardest things. Like my dad getting sick is hard on me, but like it was hard on Lenora, it was hard on my uncle, it was hard on my cousins, it was hard on Michael, and now to have to help him navigate through that, like it's so wild. And this year I'm planning on taking Michael on a father-son trip to Williamsburg, Virginia, because my dad used to take me to Busch Gardens, and that was like our father-son thing every summer. It was like a big trip. It's one of the best things I ever did in my life. So this year I'm starting it where I want to take Michael, because Michael's getting old enough where he's tall enough to get on some of these rides with me. So I'm like, yo, we can do this. So Michael can't wait. So I hope I plan these trips as well as my dad used to. But I'm trying to remember, like, all right, what did my dad do? How did he plan these trips out? And like, I'm excited. It's one of my goals actually for this year to do that trip with him. So I want to make that happen. And yeah, that's me. That's me and my goals.
That's good.
Yeah.
She's good, man. My kid, she surprises me every day, man. Because she knows the words that she uses and how she uses them. She uses them so correctly, and it bugs me out because I'm like, damn, you're too smart. But then it bites me in the ass because I'm like, you're too smart, you smart ass. Like, but yeah, man, she's gonna be 8 years old in February. Ooh. She's been planning her birthday since the beginning of last year.
Yeah.
So, we're doing like a Barbie mixed with Hot Wheels situation because we didn't want the boys to feel left out. Like, we could invite the boys to a Barbie theme, but then what fun would they have with that? So we were just like, you know what?
That's where you get Ken involved.
True. But I mean, Hot Wheels is better. So
yeah.
Right. You kidding me? You're gonna?
No, I'd rather have Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it's using Hot Wheels over Ken any day.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that, and it's fun. She's been asking me. She's like, Daddy, how old are you gonna be? You're gonna be 30? And I was like, yeah, don't remind me. And she's like, that's not bad, Daddy. I was like, how do you know?
Right.
Right. But yeah, no, man. She surprises me every day. Side note, are you having difficulties in school?
As far as what?
Like homework?
You know, surprisingly,
Like math homework?
nah. You know what it is? Surprisingly, Michael's getting very little homework, and I'm like, why aren't you coming home with more stuff for us to like work on? It's kind of weird. They just be like, nah, just we just want them to read, and I'm like, that's cool. But like, where's the stuff? Like, I don't know,
Dude. They're giving my daughter some shit, and a lot of it is shit that I don't remember learning until like 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah.
She's learning it now in 2nd grade.
Mm.
And I'm sitting here like, and I'm not the only one. Like everybody in the family is like, "What is this, bro?" Like, it's not that it's hard. It's just like, what the hell? You know what I mean? But anyway, I digress. She's good. I haven't told her yet, but I'm gonna tell her today, so she can be ready for whenever it does come.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna sign off now.
That's the guy coming for us. All right. So we had a great time. Look forward to us. We available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You name it, we're there. We're gonna keep going. Look out for us. Patreon coming soon. New logo coming soon. New theme music coming soon. So yeah, this is us. You heard of Morgan Mindy? Well, this is Philip Hill.